We are getting close to the end, my friends. This is Action Comics 691. This is part 19 of the Reign of Supermen. And this issue stands out for me because we see the relationship between Kal-El and Still strengthened together. And what I love is how John Henry Irons kind of becomes this standout character here in the latter half of the arc. And as we read, it says, over 7 million people lived in Coast City, California, right up until the moment when it was leveled by the forces of a mad cyborg who had masqueraded as our world's greatest hero. Now, in place of that great urban center stands this monstrous construct called Engine City. It is the linchpin of the cyborg's plans of global domination and revenge. He believes he has either duped or destroyed all who might have opposed him. He is wrong. Two brave men now descend into the depths of Engine City, determined to stop the cyborg and save the world, even at the risk of their own lives. The Man of Steel was a great engineer until he learned how his work had been used to kill innocent people. Now he uses his rocket-propelled armor to protect lives. That is a great intro, and as I said, kind of puts Steel in the forefront, seeing how he's learned from the Man of Steel and how he wants to use his intelligence and strength for good. So let's talk about who's made Secret Weapon. This is Roger Stern writing, Jackson and Dennis artist. I hate it when they do this sometimes. Goyce and Reuter doing the art as well. Bill Oakley letter, and Glenn Whitmore was the colorist. And the print date on this was, I think it was October 1993, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I saw. Now, Still is kind of a little taken back because as they're falling, because Superman just straight up jumped off a ledge and he goes, "Come on, Still. There's a long and hard road ahead. You're too much, man." Bottom of this pit, at least a half-mile down. That lying cyborg and the other weird dude with the visor both claim they were Superman, but neither one has half the heart this guy has, or the guts. If he isn't the real deal, he's close enough in my book. He took a hell of a risk with this jump. He's nowhere near as strong as my armor makes me. And so you kind of start to see little hints that Superman's concerned about himself to a degree because he's not full power, but he's still worried about John's life because he goes, "Shh, the walls and eyes have ears." And then we just see the War World minion fly out of nowhere, and they just dive in and start taking these nasties out. But I just love how Superman is not, like, even when he was Superman, he always had self-doubts, but he knew that his Kryptonian body would protect him. But here he goes, except for the time that Mixoplex canceled out my powers. I haven't been so physically vulnerable since I was 12. I must be down to about 1/10 of my old strength, but I feel such a rush. My body is simply producing more adrenaline to compensate. Whatever it is, I'll take it. We need every advantage we can get. He goes, "That was close." And Paul always said close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We need to fight more offensively. And so it just makes you see that even though he has doubts, he's still going to do it because that's the type of person that Clark Kent is. And then we finally get to see what happened to the Eradicator. He's screaming for more power. He goes, "The cyborg pretender attacked me while I wore the shield of Krypton's last son. He thought me destroyed. I must be made whole again. I must live to avenge both myself and the name of Superman. I must have more power, more data if I'm to preserve. Attend me." And what I like here is you actually get to see the type of person that the Eradicator becomes. Because as we've seen so far, he has been cold, calculating like a machine. And that is, spoiler alert, if you haven't been going through the books or the reviews, we find that the Eradicator was living energy, that it tried to change the Earth into another Krypton. And then after Superman died, he touched the body imprinted on Superman, and he started to have these conflicts with logic, with responsibility, self-sacrifice, and it made him want to become a hero. And he goes, "The cyborg shall fall by the power of Krypton, and vengeance shall be mine." And so I like that by the end of this, the Eradicator kind of becomes his own character. And then we get a cool little tidbit about how Supergirl comes into the mix here in Engine City. I don't want to give it away. Just know that the cyborg knows that everything's going on, and he is ready to pit everyone against each other so that he can enact his own plans. This was a great book. The artwork is absolutely astounding. Seeing the fighting with Steel and Clark Kent, it's just great all around. And especially the moment with the Eradicator, it just shows how you should do a character development in a comic book. We also see the fallout of what happened to Superboy when he saved the bomb from hitting Metropolis. And again, the Eradicator and Superboy, for me, are two of the greatest versions of character development in these books. I love how Steel kind of comes into his own, even though he was a strong, selfless type to begin with. We see him become a hero as well. But for Connor and the Eradicator, for me personally, they came off, one coming off cold and calculating, the other arrogant, selfish angst of youth. And to see what happened to them in this book is just absolutely spectacular. So, Action Comics 691, we're finally getting to this boiling point of the battle with Superman versus Mongol, and then an awesome battle between Steel and the cyborg Superman. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is you like to get your action figures and comic books, and grab this series, whether the singles, the trades, and I believe there are 2 omnibuses or something like that. Either way, this is one of those pivotal Superman series that's going to be talked about for years to come. And if you've enjoyed this review, I really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Krypton bell next to subscribe, that was I can upload content. You guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.